All right, finally starting to cool down, so it's time for some good hearty soups. This I call rustic mushroom and potato soup. And it's rustic, it's kind of a good earthy flavor to it. You got lots of potatoes and mushrooms in there, a little cream to bring up the flavor some more, and it gives you that creaminess. Oh yeah, yeah. If you like kind of good, earthy, down-to-earth, solid flavors, this is a soup for you. And it's easy to make, so let's go in the kitchen and make some right now. All right, to make our rustic soup, what we've got here, well, across the front, first of all, the butter, that's 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 clove of garlic crushed, and 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. Over here, the mushrooms. Now, these are roughly 12 to 14 decent sized mushrooms, or about 200 grams, about 7 ounces, roughly around there. And I've cut them quite thick. They're probably close, just about 1/4 of an inch thick in some cases, just a little under, so about 4 to 5 millimeters. Over here, I've got 1 pound or 450 grams, or 454 grams if you want to be exact, of potatoes, which have been scrubbed, but notice I leave skins on because this is rustic, right? We want a little bit of something in there. And I've cut them up into small pieces, chopped them up, so they're going to cook quicker and they're going to be easier to crush afterwards when we use the potato masher on this. Over here, I've got 1 onion, finely sliced, finely chopped, I say, finely chopped up. Here, I've got 4 cups of chicken stock, and then here I've got 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. That's about 35%, or more is fine, and that's going to thicken up our soup afterwards, give it a nice creaminess. Plus that butter gives it a bit of creaminess too. All right, so I got a big pot here, and we're going to bring that up right away on medium heat. And then I'm going to add in the butter. Get that butter melting, and then in are going to go the onions. All right, butter's melted. In goes the onions. I'm going to cook the onions for about 5 to 8 minutes. I just want to soften them up nicely, and then we're going to be adding some more ingredients. So see you back here in 5 to 8 minutes. All right, those onions are softened, so what I'm going to do now, we're going to add in the potatoes, the mushrooms, garlic, get all that garlic, and the thyme. Stir that in a bit, and now going to cook this for another 5 to 8 minutes. Sort of brown up things just a little bit. So stirring every once in a while, and medium heat. You get that browned up a bit. See you back here in about 5 to 8 minutes. All right, got a little bit of browning happening there, just a wee bit. That's looking good. Now you also get a little bit of browning on the bottom. So what we're going to do now, first of all, we're going to be adding this in, but I just want to add a little bit at first. This is the soup stock, the chicken stock. Oh, this is a hard one to pour from. All right, add a little bit in and just deglaze that bottom because that's all good stuff you want in your soup. So just kind of go around, and as it cooks there, it'll loosen it up, and then you just scrape it off, and that's going to add a lot of color. Okay, now we're going to add in the rest. Okay, what I want to do now, bring this up to a simmer. So I'm just going to give it a stir, put the cover on, get everything off the sides here, and bring that up to a simmer. When that comes to a simmer, I'll simmer that for 15 minutes, and I'll see you back here then. All right, so that's been simmering away there for about 15 minutes. Now, turn the heat off. It's off to one side. Take that lid off there. Whoa, get the steam. Oh. All right, and it's just, it's gonna be a little hot. Move that over here. Okay, all right. Now, what I wanna do here is, this is a rustic soup. So usually I would take my soups and I throw them in the blender and puree them up, right? I don't want to do that here. I want to keep kind of a rustic quality to it. So I'm going to take a potato masher. I'm just going to go through there and mash a bit. What it's going to do is going to basically mash up the potatoes. It's going to break some of those mushrooms up a little bit too, but it's still going to leave a lot of chunkiness in there, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. We're going to have a little bit of body from the potatoes that we mash, and then we're going to have chunkiness for the potatoes that don't get mashed, and from the pieces of mushroom. Now, oh, that's looking good already. All right, so that's good enough. Now, to bring it, ouch, back on the heat. I'm going to add the cream in, so I'm just going to pour that in there. Give that a stir. Ooh, that is going to be absolutely fantastic. And then I'm going to turn the heat on. Just give it about 4 or 5 minutes just to bring the heat back up again. I don't want to get too high. All right, let's see you back here in about 45 minutes. That should be heated up then and ready to go. All right, let's come back up to simmer again, so it's ready to go. Gonna turn that heat off. Let's have a look at this up close. Oh, look at that! Just see that? It's just a beautiful mixture there. A little taste. It's gonna be hot, but it's time for a little taste. Yeah. So not only you get this kind of a nice rustic looking soup, but you get a nice earthy taste from the potatoes and the mushrooms, a little bit of thyme in there. You don't want any heavy spices in here. You just want that good earthy taste, and this has got it. All right, so if you like this recipe, stick around. There's a lot more here on Kuma's Kitchen. They're all original Kevin Riley Kuma's Kitchen recipes. And make sure you subscribe, because there's a new one coming out every Monday. Also, make sure you're becoming a patron, because, hey, for just as little as $3 a month, you can be supporting the creation of all these original recipe videos, and also you get all the cool stuff that the patrons get. So, go on, make this great soup, earthy, hearty soup, and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.